cannot believe how quick the plants grow over here. They shoot up. Cucumbers, soy dogs, toads, lizards, snakes, and flooding rains, and so much more. Check it out, guys. I put some cucumbers in out the front there. In 3 days, they're shooting through the ground already. Long beans are coming along really good. Have a look at this. This is 4 days. This is a short week since I put those lemongrasses. 4 days. Have a look at this. There we go, guys. I pulled one out of the ground. This is 4 days old. Now you remember when I put them in, the bottom has been cut off, the roots have been cut off, and you would think, well, it's not going to grow, it's got no root material left to shoot. This is 4 days after I put it in the potting mix, in the warm tropical climate, in a good potting mix and kept damp. So anyway, I'll keep you updated. Lemongrass, tropical gardening, different to southern Victoria, Australia, with frosts and months and months and months of cold weather. The interesting part about the marigolds is minimum quantity 10 seeds, and I stuck in a little snap bag inside, and they're about as thick as an eyelash, and if you let go of them, they're gone. You drop them on the ground, you won't find them, but they weren't expensive. This one over here, marigolds, 1, 2, 3, 4 coming up already. Anyway, a few have come up. I'll go and buy some more packets and put some more, because I want to put a big mass row of marigolds along the front fence. The problem I've got here is my seed mix is I thought the kids might get into it and start digging. I thought the dogs might get into it and start digging. We've got a toy dog that lives here. No, it's bloody toads. The toads come out at night time and hop around everywhere, and they dig little holes. For you people from the country, you know what rabbit scratchings are like? When the rabbit just has his little scratch in the dirt, it's like that, only half size. Bloody toads. Who would have thought that? But there are no snails and there are no slugs. That's just got to be a great benefit. And no birds like the satin bower birds that just pick the seedlings out as soon as they stick their head through the soil. There seems to be no major pests like that. You might have an elephant come through or something. I'm joking. No, it seems it's very surprising how few pests there are over here that I've encountered yet, but I will. There's 168 venomous snakes in Thailand, and I'm living in the jungle sort of, so there's all sorts of pests. Okay, let's go out and have a look out here. We're going to have a look over the fence at my Guerrilla garden, because there's dirt out there that's not being used, but it is now. Okay, come and have a look out here. I don't know if you watched the video when we put the lawn in. There's 2 different types of lawn come in the thing, and some of it was a finer grass. It died as soon as we put it in, but the other grass is coming up really quick through it. Now we've got the SEC boys, we've got the PEA boys putting the power poles in today. Nobody got onto me to tell me what that plant was. Or that plant. I don't know what they are. I'll find out. Doesn't matter, they look good. Thank you to the subscriber who told me to put the oil on the rollers on the bottom of the gate. It's a good idea. I haven't actually done it yet. That's a great idea and I will do it. Now, we had a major flood here. The water was up over that bank of dirt, but it's gone down, so that's good. Along the front there, along the front of a house here, I've put in watermelons, 5 little plots of about 5 seeds in each plot, and that'll flow down here and keep the grass down, I hope. The front bit, it doesn't look much. It's a sticky mud, it's horrible, it's just disgusting stuff to work in, but we're getting there. Along here, right along there, and along there in front of the beans, and back up to the banana tree there, they're cucumber plants. They've come up in 3 days. That's how much the seeds have come up in 3 days. That's why I dug this up here in the bank and put a channel in. Not to get rid of the water, but to raise the soil level up above the water table. And they're growing good. Banana trees along here, right up there. Mr. Chen come and put them in when I wasn't here. So that's great. And a big banana tree over there. Mixture of the big normal Australian type bananas and little small bananas. Little small bananas, a little bit nicer. Anyway, I like them both. I've been told my trellis for my tall beans isn't tall enough. It's got to be up 7 foot. Normally done with 3 sticks tied together at the top and a whole ring of long beans planted in a circle at the bottom of a tripod. So I'm learning. My long beans are coming along really nice. Just look at this, I've just noticed. They're climbing up the strings already. Look, right up to there. There's the corn, the little plots of corn that we put in. They're up 10-12 inches high already. Another few little row of beans coming up there. And there's heaps of other stuff in there too, which I don't know where or what it's called because I didn't plant it. Just this other side of that jungle, there's a little creek, a little channel, which runs down to another channel. And I've got to clean up all those sticks. I'm going to try to landscape that up to a channel. I mean, rake it back, get rid of the leaves, make it all nice. Down the back there, that's just a big jungle. That's an old coconut farm that's been let go for a long time. All happening here, mate. I love it. Oh, it's beautiful. I've been taking notice of little birds hopping around in the mud bath, bathing himself in the mud. There's a white-chested water hen. White-breasted water hen, I was told, asked for some ID on him. Him and two little babies which look like little black cotton balls. Here's my friend on YouTube, my YouTube creator. Say hello to the camera.
My channel, Big Box.
Big Box. Yes. Big Box. So look up Big Box. No worries, no worries. All this here, Lung Tiger, the real true Guerrilla gardener, he put that in. Okay, I keep talking about Lung Tiger, calling him a real Guerrilla gardener. Why do I call him real Guerrilla gardener? Because he came a month ago from a place in town, which you could sort of call inner city. He had not 1 inch of dirt. There was no dirt, there was no garden, there was nowhere he could put anything but would get in his sun. But what he did along the outside wall of his place, he put these foam boxes and planted seedlings. And then gradually it snuck out a little bit further, a little bit further, a little bit further over a year or two, and he ended up with a huge garden. Now, come out the back, I'll show you some of the plants he's brought over here, including some of those flower pots along there and trees. Right, come for a walk. Hello, Dang. It's Dang. Dang, our soy dog. Hello, Dang. See Dang, colour red. He's as gentle as a kitten for kids and everybody. We're talking about the dog. Come around the corner here. All this is Lung Tiger's plants that he brought back from the place where he didn't have a square inch of dirt. A chilli plant, a lemon of some sort, a citrus, another chilli, little red chilli. You can see that. That one, that one, that one. I don't know what they are. And just have a look up here, mate. All that garden there, all those plants came from a bloke who hasn't got a garden. He had no garden. He's a guerrilla gardener. He grew them basically just on the edge of his boundary line on the footpath. He's magic. Oh, sorry, I'm telling you a lie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those 6 plants there are finger limes. My friend's got those growing. He's been researching it for years and years. Anyway, he's over here now and he's got them growing. There's a few different types of varieties. Apparently they're very touchy to grow, but we'll see how we go. We'll just go for a walk along here and see Lung Tiger, Uncle Tiger's plants. I hope that explains why I call Uncle Tiger the Guerrilla Gardener. He is the Guerrilla Gardener. And that's his garden, that and the ones out the front. And all these pots around the front, not the trees, just the flower pots, all came from a bloke who does not have 1 inch of dirt. That's the Guerrilla Gardener. Food and ornamental, everything. Everybody puts subscribe on the end of their videos. Do you know why? Because you've got to get 1,000 subscribers before YouTube treats you as a proper creator. Until that, there are certain benefits you don't get. One is you don't get any money, no money at all. Once you get over 1,000 subscribers, you start to get money. Hey, don't get excited. It's a couple of cents. It's a couple of cents. It might be $2 a month. So don't get excited about it. But only subscribe if you want to see more, or you find it interesting. Just subscribe, put that little bell, click on that, and if I put it out of YouTube, it'll come up on your phone or on your computer as a notification. That's why. Subscribe. I'm interested in gardening. I'm interested in too many things, and YouTube calls it a shotgun approach, and they thoroughly warn against doing a shotgun approach to making YouTubes. Don't make YouTubes about the things that interest you, because they're all over the place. You've got to focus on one small area. I should be focusing on varieties of chilies, not thousands of subscribers if I did that, but that would be boring. As you can see, we've had more rain. It's only 1 month to go and the rain's finished. A big fish just jumped out of the creek there. This won't drain off much more than what it is at the moment. These plants here I put in are above the water well enough to grow good. 3 of the bean plants down there are going yellow because he got wet feet, you know. They may survive, they may not. So I've got to go and get my rubber boots on in a minute and go for a walk and do some more planting. And I've got to clear a bit of that jungle back over there. It's hard yakka, it's muddy, it's horrible, it's hot, and I might have a beer, possibly after. Bought myself 21 bags of potting mix today, cost me 300 bahts. 100 bahts is $5, 15 bucks, there you go, 15 bucks Aussie, depending on the fluctuating currency market, you know. Hey, anybody out there into the crypto? There's a lot of scammers out there. There's a lot of good stuff to be going on. Crypto, in my opinion, is trading in emotions, because I don't think crypto makes anything or does anything, but it's emotions trading. Trading in emotion, fear of missing out, greed, wanting to get onto a rising market. It's all good. My mate says the other day, I said, you know what I told you about? It says it's gone up from $1 or something up to 20 bucks a share. You know, so if I'd have bought 100 bucks worth, you would have made some money. There's a lot of money to be made out there. Heck of a lot of scammers on Facebook, I hate them. Okay, that's not what we're talking about, we're talking about gardening. That's my watermelons along the fence there. They'll grow down there, I hope, downhill, the vines, keep them up off the fence. And then along between the cucumbers there and here in the middle, I might put some more little raised beds of something else, little baby squashes. Oh, kids having a play, that's alright. Have a look at these beans. Wow, right up to here, and they're getting lost. They've got nowhere to grow up further, a couple of them. I've got one over there that's growing all through a jungle on its own. I can see that, he hasn't gone up the pole. I've got to go and get those and tie them up today. We get down in the lower levels and we got those three, 1, 2, and that one there that have gone yellow, and that one's starting to go yellow a little bit. But the water's gone down. They've suffered a lot from water, too much water around the roots. But that's the difference. That one's okay, all the high ones up there, and all of a sudden you get the low ones, they go yellow, and that's a sign that they've got wet feet. Banana trees are all growing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And one over there on its own, which is just a stick, there's no leaves on it, so maybe it's not going to grow, or maybe it will. There's a banana tree, but hasn't got any leaves on it, and looking from a distance I thought it might not be going to make it. But guess what I see at the top here? A little bit of green coming up, so I think it's going to be okay. But the corn's coming up. We'll go for a walk around there in a minute and have a look at the corn. But all that jungle, that's one of my main jobs, to get rid of that. There's a little bit of a smell in the air today. It smells like the mangrove flats. That salty sort of low tide smell. But what it is the prawn ponds around their neighbourhood, they pump all the water out, and you got the sticky mud left in the pond sitting in the sun. It's pretty hot sun, and you get that smell. It's not horrific, it's just something you notice. As I say, it's just like a coastal mangroves low tide smell. That's all it is. Okay, stop waffling, get on with it. This is the type of stuff I've got to sort out. I've got to clean up a bit of a jungle along there. That's the tool, handsaw. I've got chainsaws, I've got axes, I've got everything in Australia. Over here I haven't. There's fish in that water, a lot of fish, little fish. I want to get rid of all the sticks and leaves and rubbish. Just make it open in case a snake comes in. I saw a baby Asian water monitor creeping around in there the other day. They're not so much of a danger, they're just frightening. They're like a giant goanna. I saw one in the channel swimming the other day. It'd have to be over 7 foot long. Just looked like a big crocodile. My mate saw a big snake 200 metres away heading into this jungle. He might have went the other way, he might have come along here. I've got to be a bit careful. You've always got to assume it's going to be a snake. Come for a stroll up here, we'll have a look at the garden. Got my rubber boots on. Now we've got some climbing beans, then we've got the corns, and they're doing well. We've got these little plots or patches here that have come up, and because I can't speak Thai and the gentleman can't speak English, but they seem to be a packet of seeds that's been spread there. And then we go up here, those little fellas have got serrated edge on their leaves. We go up here, there's another big huge patch of a different type of thing with not serrated on the leaves. So when Mr. Chen comes back, I'll be able to ask about what it is. Now along through here, we'll go in here. This is where I had to come the other day. Creepy crawly through the jungle. All sorts of vines and prickle bushes and things. I had to sneak in through here, and I had to dig that little channel. It's not flowing, so it could be dug deeper. Through here, into that little pond, and then into that pond. If you can imagine me in here, chopping and bashing and carrying on. I'm not used to that sort of hard work. It's very, very humid, but we get there. And I've also got to look out for snakes and all sorts of creepy crawlies. Killed a scorpion the other day, and a centipede coming up to the house because the water's rising up all around the place. All the insects are climbing up, and big goanna things are chasing them. That's interesting. Okay, let's get back to the gardening. I'm going to try and clean up that tree and start from that corner of the water channel. No, I'm not as fit as I used to be. I'm going to have a rest. I haven't got a gym. Finding it hard to keep fit over here. I go for walks, but in the middle of the day it's pretty warm for a walk. And I've got a few other duties I've got to attend to during the day. Slow and steady. My son come down to visit me in the bush in Aussie, and he looked at the hut. He looked at the tin shed, the workers' hut that I built there just to put my tools in and stuff. He said, "Bloody hell, Dad, when did you do this? How did you do it?" I said, "Well, you get a shovel and you dig a hole, and you put a post in. Then you measure out 3 metres, dig another hole, put a post in. When you stop, don't stop for any more than 10 minutes, unless it's lunch, 20 minutes for lunch. Dig another hole, obviously have them lined up where you want them. You got spare time, carry some materials down the hill or down the big slope. No track to it, no, couldn't drive to it." I ended up with a 6 metre by 3 metre bush hut, corrugated iron, chimney in the end, a couple of deck chairs, a couple of steel trunks for some food, put all my tools out of the way, just a workshop, just a thing. Had a bit of a stretcher, I got to chuck a swag on. Then I thought, it's on a very steep slope, and I'm sliding down the hill when I come out the front door. So then I had to put a veranda on it. So I got a 3 metre by 6 metre veranda with a roof. If you had to, you could actually live in it. It's not a habitable dwelling, it's just a shed for storing your tools. But I overlit the big fire and drank a couple of beers in there. Spent a nice, dry, comfortable night, drinking a bit of whiskey. Got the wireless going, little solar panel on it, only one solar panel. $30 controller and an old ex-car battery was about stuffed, and a few LED lights. Hey, you sit out there and have a beer, listen to your music on your bloody Spotify. Pretty good. Get away from the city and rat race and a mongrel job I used to have. The job was okay as the people had to work with. They seem to find more enjoyment in causing mischief amongst themselves and everybody else than actually doing the work. The work was fine if everybody got their head down and did it, but there was more just internal politics is what destroyed it, you know. It could have been just a nice sort of a job, but no, it's all infighting, bitching and power struggles going on amongst the staff. Glad to get out and get up the bush, sit by a big fire, have a whiskey and a beer, listen to the bush, listen to the rain on the tin roof, rest. Love it. And now I'm over here. What am I doing? Oh God, I better get back into it. My heart slowed down a bit. More. One day I'll stop. Not yet. Not today, I hope. The bloody big python or one of them cobras comes out of there. I think that'll make me stop. Sit down again. I don't deserve a rest just yet. But oh, here comes the red dog. Dang dog, see dang. Tie for red, collar red. G'day. This fella looks like a dingo or what? You reckon he's a dingo? He's one of them wild soy dogs that live in the street. Soy means a lane or a street off a main street is a soy. Soy 1, soy 2, soy 3 off the main road or secondary road. So he's a soy dog. We've adopted him. He's very good with the kids. He barks when something comes, intruders. Well, unusual people, doesn't bark when nobody comes. He's a good watchdog. Oh, and with Thai lifestyle, there's always plenty of food. I went to a park in Phuket Town, old Phuket Town on Phuket Island. And I went to the park down near the beach where tourists don't go. And I bought some chicken, of course, fried chicken, love it, you know, lovely. And there's a few dogs around. I had a bit of chicken bones, I thought I'd give them to the dogs. I called the dog, he come over, I chucked the chicken bones at him, and they sort of sniffed them and then just walked away. That was when I was new here. I found out since there's no hungry dogs in Thailand. There is just so much food. People put food near the rubbish bins. If they got food near the rubbish, they put it out on the path for the dogs to come and eat. All the stray dogs everywhere. Contrary to popular belief, Thailand people do not eat dogs. Other Southeast Asian countries may. I'm not going to comment on it, but I'll say that Thais don't. It's a bit of a myth. And like all things, there's lots of variations. People get on there and say, oh no, they do this, and they do that, and they do something else, and they collect them and export them to the other countries. All those myths. I don't know. Probably some do, some don't. I don't know. If you know something, comment down below. Tell me, educate me. I can only talk about what I know. I was with a lady up at Nong Khai years ago, and we were driving along, and we went down a back street through Nong Khai, and she whispered quietly in the car to me. She said, oh, the people here, they eat the dog. I said, oh, really? I said, well, why? They're very hungry. I said, no, the parents teach them. In other words, it's a cultural thing. I said, what, just the stray dogs off the street? She said, no, any dog. People's dog, everything they eat. But she was ashamed and a bit embarrassed about it. That's not normal. Okay, I better get back to it. That's what I was just going to say. How do you get things done? By not sitting down talking to the bloody camera. Just keep working. Do a bit each day. A month ago, this was a industrial building rubble site. Now I've got beans up 3 foot high, I've got banana trees, corn. Probably got snakes sneaking up on me to bite me in the arse. Oh, big dog over there, coming out of the scrub. Okay, back to it. I'll be a little waddy if the snake comes. It's a bit heavy, but it'll do. I can sit down every night of the week. I'll sit down and have a chat again, because I'm doing a bit in between. I can sit down every night of the week, and I can drink as much beer as I feel like drinking. Affordable, 60 baht a bottle, that's $6. $6 for a bottle of beer. Real cold, big long neck, and ice, beautiful beer. I can sit and drink beer all night. If I don't do that, I can drink whiskey. Whiskey's 600 bahts for a bottle, big bottle of whiskey. It's good whiskey, not the cheap and nasty stuff. It is Thai whiskey, but it's good whiskey. Get my breath. I get a bottle of whiskey and some soda water. Drink that, drink a quarter of a bottle, half a bottle. It's affordable. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. You've got to control yourself. You really got to control yourself, because you can do anything here. You can drive 0.05, no problems whatsoever. Won't go into all that. You can hire motor scooters. Lots of tourists hire motor scooters and go roaring around the place because they get drunk, of course. Most of them haven't got a clue on how to ride any sort of motorbike. Plus it's completely different road rules over here, as in the motorcyclist's job is to get out of the way of everybody else. And if you don't, the car will expect you to and you'll get run down. You've got no right of way stuff. Anyway, they'll fall off their bike and get crashed into or whatever. Then they've done stupid things like give their passport to the person they hired the motorbike off. Well, that's not what your passport's for, number one. Number two, it's illegal. Number three, if anything goes wrong with the bike, even if nothing goes wrong with the bike and the bloke that rents it to you says something's gone wrong with the bike and they've got your passport, you've got no way of negotiating out of it. You've just got to pay your money, what they require, to get your passport back. Police won't help you, customs won't help you, you're not allowed to give your passport to other people. That's passports and motorbikes. And the other thing is, the way they go roaring around, have an accident, and they say, oh, I've had an accident, and then they try to claim it on insurance. Well, there's one thing, there's a very simple rule with insurance. Insurers do not insure people for conducting illegal activities. And riding a motor scooter, and hiring a motor scooter, riding a motor scooter without a licence is an illegal activity. So your motorcycle company will not pay up. You've got to pay it up yourself. Oh, there goes me darling, heading up on a scooter with no helmet on. Yeah, oh, just because you can doesn't mean you should. Eating, overeating, so many sweet foods here. Beer, sweet tooth. You can go to the bars, if you're a young bloke and you want to do that sort of stuff, you can go to the bar. Go to a bar over here, it's just like going to a pub. But except you've got a lot of bar girls whose job it is to entertain you, entertainment girls. You know, make you feel good. Where you come from? How long you stay? Standard questionnaire. They sum you up, they look at you. They can work out who you are, what you are, how much money you got, quick as a flash. Quick as a flash. Or what clothes you're wearing, your accent. Even they look at your feet. If your feet are looking really manicured and nice, you're okay. If your feet are a bit ugly like an Aussie worker, He never gets a manicure. An Aussie bloke would be horrified to admit he gets his feet manicured. It's just not macho, it's not right. But come over here, they look at that and they say, oh, he hasn't got a woman to look after him. He needs one. Anyway, that's it. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. You've got to control yourself. Yeah, well that's it, you've got to control yourself. Because there's lots of things you can do which will end up getting you into big trouble without even knowing it. Okay, back to work, back to work. If I can get a couple of sunny days without the rain, I could chuck a bit of something to get these fires going, burn that rubbish there, and rake up what's left, and then have another couple of fires, and this will be all done. I'll do a little bit more and then I'll call it quits. I'll leave the camera going in case that bloody Burmese python leaps out at me. Yeah, the beans have come up so high. About 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. They're up to there already. And I've got one that's heading off through a scrub here, look at him. So I've got to get back and tie these up, I'll do that now. Now there's, oh shit, I'm going to fall over, no I'm not. Hey fellas, here we are, road stop on the way to Cha Chong Sao. A little bit of Thailand street food at the servo station. Nearly forgot to put my mask on. Anyway, yeah. A bit of Thailand street food on the road. I don't mind a bit of junk food after eating a lot of healthy Thai food for a while. Healthy vegetables and noodles and rice. This is your typical servo station on the road. What have we got over there? The toilets, the deli cafe, and a 7-Eleven or something similar to a 7-Eleven on the corner, and the Burger King. And we got all sorts of stuff here. Wow. Wow. Cowboy test. I went to a shop the other day and they had the automatic testing at the door like every shop in Thailand does. And a girl went in front of it and it started bipping and making alarm noises. She backed away and went in front of it again and started making alarm noises. She looked at the girl who was standing behind the machine and with paper forms and things like that. They yibba to each other and then they both giggled and the girl who was setting the alarm off proceeded into the supermarket and the other girl proceeded to look at the books. See you guys, have a good one wherever you are. Bye.